Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am doing a little bit of some work and I finally wanted to film that Q&A video I've been talking about. I wanted to wait until I got at least a decent amount of questions to make a video. So I have about 10 or no, I think like 8 questions or so. So I wanted to go ahead and answer those so that I could get this video out, and then I can always do another one. So if you have any other questions that are outside of the ones that I answer in this video, then definitely leave them down below. Change is crazy. Change is crazy. My name is Tatiana and I'm the owner of Stationery Muse, and the Stationery Muse is all about inspiring women to go for what they want in life. And I do that just through my love of paper products, stationery, and just goal setting in general. And so I really do want to encourage people, especially if you want to start a business. I am so big on entrepreneurship, you guys, and I love the questions that I got, and so I wanted to help you out as much as possible while I'm also sitting here trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. I'm planning out my launch week for, I have a really huge launch coming up the second week of July. And I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video if you guys are interested. But let's go ahead and just get into this video. So let me give you guys a little bit of background. So I've been in business for 3 years. I just celebrated my 3-year anniversary for the Stationery Muse last month. And it's just been an amazing journey so far. And I really want to help other women that are interested in starting their own creative businesses and just share my knowledge. I'm literally an open book. I love to help others. So definitely if you have a question, just ask me. Some people DM me all the time and ask me different things too. So I would love to help you. All right, so the first question is, how do you stay motivated? So this is a really good question. I think that my biggest thing for staying motivated, and again, I'm doing a little bit of some working too, so don't think I'm not paying attention to you guys. My biggest thing for staying motivated is I just feel like you have to be real with yourself that you're going to get burnt out, especially when you are a solopreneur and you do pretty much everything yourself. It can be very hard to stay creative when you have like all these other things that you need to do that you may not necessarily love to do, but that they still have to get done. Like, I mean, I love creating the Live, Love, Inspire box, and I love creating just the whole creative aspect of it, but I don't like the whole customer service portion of it. But it's just the reality. That's how my business is right now. You know, I'm slowly making a way to make that less on myself and trying to incorporate, you know, getting some help and things like that. My sister actually started helping me recently and stuff. So I say all of this to say that motivation for me really stems from my mind being clear of clutter and just different things, and a lot of times I have to just take a step back. And so staying organized is really a huge thing for that, and just kind of having a plan for the day or a plan for the week. And then I allow myself that time to be creative, and that's where I really just stay motivated. I like to listen to a ton of podcasts as well. I love podcasts, you guys. Sunday Jumpstart is one of my favorite ones. But I also listen to so many. Why can't I think of any right now off the top of my head? Sunday Jumpstart, the Gold Digger podcast, Grit podcast, God is My CEO, the Courtney Sanders podcast. That's just a couple of them. But I like to listen to other entrepreneurial women that, you know, maybe be like above me, but they give such really good encouragement and advice, and it just really gets me going. Cultivate What Matters is another one with Laura Casey. She's very inspirational. I just love to fuel myself with just positivity, and podcasts is a really good way I do that. And then quotes, you know, and then just my business itself is just like inspirational business. So when I'm posting a quote for others, that motivates me to be like, hey, no, this is going to be a good week, you know. So just different things like that. I would just say surround yourself with positivity and how you want to feel, and it'll overall will get you motivated. And not even in business, but just life in general, because, you know, sometimes I don't be wanting to clean up dishes in that sink, but, you know, I got to find the motivation for that too. But yeah, that would be my biggest thing for that. How do you not compare yourself? So I talk about comparison a lot because I feel like society today is just, social media is so heavy and it's in our faces. And it's hard not to compare ourselves, and it's just the honest truth. I mean, as much as I might get on Instagram and just be like, okay, what's going on here today, I find myself comparing because it's just in my face. Naturally, I will see other businesses and things they're doing and how they're thriving and succeeding. And I feel like I'm thriving and succeeding, but it's in a different way because my journey is different. And sometimes I forget that, you know? And so I might feel a certain type of way like, well, you know, why is so-and-so got this going on? Or even in my personal life, like, well, why did this person get to buy a house? You know, I want to be in a position to do that, but I'm not there yet. And just different things like that. And I do compare myself. So it's not that I don't, but what I do find is that I have to just always kind of reset my mind back to remember the reasoning of, well, not even the reasoning, to just remember that social media is not for that. So much social media is really to be social, to engage, and yes, you do see other people's lives, but just to remember that it is just a snapshot of their lives. This is not our reality by any means. When I take a beautiful picture of my desk, 10 minutes before I took the picture, I just hurried up and cleaned all the clutter that was just on it off of there so that I could get this good picture for Instagram. This is the reality. Like, I don't live in like this cookie cutter office, you know, right here. This corner may seem nice, but over there looks very messy on my like craft table. So it's just, social media really makes things seem like they're perfect, and it makes things seem like they're just so together, but the reality is it's so not. So and I just remind myself of that. And sometimes I do take breaks. If I feel like I'm just getting overwhelmed, or if it's just getting to be too much, I take breaks. If someone is just really making me feel down about myself, I unfollow them. And that's just how it is. It's not anything personal, but it's just, you know, for my own mental space, my well-being, that's the choice that I have to make. So I would definitely just suggest that, you know, take breaks, unfollow people that do not bring you positivity or don't bring you joy, not because they're posting negative things, but just because maybe the way that they show off their journey is just making you feel less than. Then just remove that from your day, and it will make a world of a difference. Okay, so we have a, t-shirt question on YouTube. Okay, let me go to my YouTube channel really quick. There was a question on there. Here we go. First off, congrats. I'm hoping that some of the items will be in your online shop. Oh, yes. So this was on my get ready with me for my first trade show video. And those items are slowly making their way to my shop because I've created a lot of new ones for that one. So just look out. There are a lot of new items coming. And the big release coming too. Okay, so secondly, I have so many questions, but I don't know where to start. I, with my daughters, I'm starting a t-shirt shop. I want to add journals and other items, but I keep getting stuck because I have so many ideas and some fear too, if I'm being honest. Since I can't articulate my questions, I'm looking forward to the upcoming videos that will help us move forward. You are definitely a great inspiration that it can be done. So I wanted to just, she didn't necessarily ask a question, but I wanted to kind of address it a little bit. In two things I wanted to say. So she basically just said that she wants to start a t-shirt shop and she wanted to add journals and other items. So first thing is, if this is something that you're going to be starting, my first encouragement is just do not let fear hold you back. Don't think about it too hard. You know, definitely do your research in the beginning. Google is an amazing resource. You know, you will learn so many different things about that. I know as far as like t-shirts and stuff, for myself personally, I make all of my t-shirts for the most part here. And then I also do use a company called Printed Mint as well, where I, will create the design on my computer and then I will upload it to their site and then they will create some. So it just kind of depends. I do a little bit of both, where I have that option with that. I could actually have them ship it directly to my customer if I want to, whereas the ones I make here in-house, I'll order it from like a larger company. I think the one I use is called Tshirt is one of them, and there's a new one that I just recently started using and I cannot think of the name of it right now. I'll try to link it below if I remember. But pretty much the same thing, and they have like wholesale t-shirts, all different styles and different things, all colors. You can order that, and then you can of course use your vinyl that you have at home, or I actually saw something new now that Cricut has come out with. It's called, I think it's an infused ink, which I'm really about to look into, you guys, because it's not that vinyl that feels like it can come off, like it's pressed into the shirt. So But yeah, do your research, find your places. There's so many places that do shirt printing. Printful is another one that I've heard of. And then, you know, decide if you want to make them in-house, or if you want to have that be taken care of by somebody else. A lot of times I make my own shirts because it just cuts down on costs a lot, but then it does up the labor. So you have to kind of figure out what works best for you with that. But my other thing, I know you want to add journals and other items, you know, just expand slowly. Don't feel like you have to have it all in the beginning. Like I started my business, all I had for a really long time was just different A5 planner inserts, and that's what I felt comfortable with. And that's what I did for a really, really long time. I would say at least the first, the first 3 to 4 months of my business, which is not, probably doesn't seem that long. I did just inserts, and then I slowly started adding different items. Like I didn't even really have personal stationery yet, even though it's the Stationery Muse. I started tying that in after a couple months when I kind of got my feet wet a little bit. So start with what you're comfortable with and just add on as time goes on. Another company that I really do love that I actually get a lot of my notebooks printed with is Stationery HQ. They are amazing. So I would say to start there with some of those things, but definitely go for your business with you and your daughters. I think that it's going to be amazing. And if you do think of some questions, definitely let me know. Okay, let's see. Next one is, how do you come up with the subscription box themes? Okay, so that's an interesting question, but basically I always just say that it's really God, you guys. Sometimes I surprise myself with the themes that I come up with, and I'm like, where the heck did you get that idea from? But it just placed on my heart. At one point I was doing it monthly, so it was like a lot, you know, because it was every single month I needed to come up with a new theme, and I tried to stay ahead. But sometimes creatively that just didn't work for me. And I recently, as you guys, if you've been following me, you know I switched to bi-monthly, so I have a little bit more creative freedom, more time to really think about the stuff and really make it meaningful. But what I will say is that I just try to find inspiration if nothing else. Like if nothing has come to me, I just kind of search. I love to just search inspirational quotes on Pinterest, and I come up with a ton of product ideas just from inspirational quotes. I might read one quote and it just makes my mind wander and go crazy. That's a lot of the times where I'll come up with the themes if it doesn't just come to me like as like just this message from God, as I feel like. What I really like about it is just that it does give me the ability to be creative, and I love to come up with these themes that will encourage somebody. And so I see so many subscription boxes out there, and the themes are amazing. So the sky is the limit for what you can do. And I think that if you are considering doing something like this, and you maybe feel like, you know, the pressure is on to come up with something, don't feel like you need to do it monthly. Don't even feel like you need to do it bi-monthly. You could do it quarterly, or just whenever you want to do it. It doesn't even have to be a subscription. It could just be like a box you come out with when you feel like it, and you know it's on your heart. But yeah, that's how I stay coming up with the different themes, is to just, you know, I've allowed myself that creative time, because I was starting to get a little bit burnt out. Like I was mentioning, you know, with the whole motivation thing, when I felt that I was getting burnt out, I was like, okay, I need to make some changes. And so, yeah, that's really the biggest thing. And I can do a whole nother video on just subscription boxes in general if you want to know more about that. I've been doing it for about 2 years at this point now, so I have a ton of knowledge and just different things that I've learned so far from it. I'm not by any means like a super huge subscription box. I do a lot of stuff handmade, so I keep my numbers pretty small. But I do have a lot of advice to give and offer. So if you guys want, I can do a whole different or separate Q&A on just starting a subscription box. Thank you for responding. I am passionate about calligraphy and hand lettering. I see that you have some awesome stuff on your site, like shirts and mugs on your website. I just wanted to know, how do you get something like that printed? What programs do you use? Okay, programs is one of my favorite things to actually talk about. It's kind of like geeky, I guess, but I love technology so much. That's one of like, if I could ever get into something else, it would be something with like computers, or I don't know, like I loved working at Best Buy. I used to work in the computer department when I worked there, and I don't know, I just love technology. But anyway, as far as programs that I use and how to get something like that printed, so I kind of touched on a little bit about how to get it printed. You have a couple of options there. So if you are doing calligraphy, one thing I would definitely say, I don't know how your setup is or what you have going on with it, but if you have a scanner, you could, you know, do your hand lettering or do your calligraphy, and then you can scan it to a computer, and then from there you can turn it into a file that you can use for printing. Photoshop is really great for this. You would basically just kind of like deselect all of the white and just have your calligraphy that you want to be selected. And then from there you can like use that and incorporate it into any type of design that you're trying to put it on. As far as like if you needed to upload it to something or get it digital. So I would definitely recommend that. There are also other options, like I know if you have an iPad, you could use Procreate, or like one of those drawing tablets that you can connect to a laptop. Like I think one is called Wacom, I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's like a drawing tablet, and then that would make it digital so that you can add it to things. Myself personally, that's usually what I do, like my drawings. I've been doing a lot more illustrations lately, so I will draw it and then I will use my scanner. It'll then bring it to the computer, and then I'll then open it up in Illustrator. I'll trace everything out with the pen tool, color it in, using just the different brushes and everything like that on Illustrator. Illustrator is by far my favorite program. I use it every single day for my business. I use it for just about everything next to InDesign. Illustrator is my baby, y'all. I love it so much. But it is a monthly not subscription. Well, yeah, I guess so. It's a monthly fee that you would pay to Adobe to have it. But I use it so much, like I benefit from it. I see the money back all the time because I literally create everything on there. Aside from like, I also use Silhouette for my Cameo as well. Yeah, so you know, you would scan it in, use your program of choice. I definitely would say though, for like calligraphy, stuff like that, Photoshop would probably be the best way to do that. And then it just kind of depends on your designing of how you like to do things. I'll use both Photoshop and Illustrator if I need to, if I'm trying to like create a design of some sort that I want to upload to like Printed Mint. Like I mentioned, Printed Mint does a ton of different types of products. They print on t-shirts, pouches, mugs, all kind of drink stuff, towels, anything you could think of. They have a lot of things on there, so I highly, highly recommend Printed Mint. It is a little bit on the expensive side, and again, that's why I don't like to get my stuff printed from there that often, but sometimes that's just how it is. But they are really good about printing off one-off items. So, you know, like if you're getting started, you don't necessarily want to invest thousands of dollars into having all of this inventory when you're just not at that point. I'm not at that point. So I like to be able to just get one-off items, and then it works really well for me that way. But yeah, so that's my biggest thing. And Stationery HQ is the other one where I get things printed as well. And so then what programs do I use? Like I said, Illustrator is my best friend. I love Illustrator so much. That is like my program. Photoshop, the whole Adobe suite is just amazing in general to me. And then I do use the Silhouette software for the Cameo sticker cutting machine. I use Cricut software because I use my Cricut all the time as well. And that was the other thing I was going to say too for shirts. And even mugs. If you invest in a heat press, I use an iron honestly, but I am actually looking into getting a heat press very soon here. You can do your own designs at home, even on a mug or on a hat and different things like that, and it is a lot more cost effective. You do, however, have to purchase your materials, so you would need some type of machine to cut the vinyl, because it would be a vinyl, like an iron-on, not vinyl. Well, yeah, it could be vinyl if you're putting it on like a mug or something like that. They sell permanent ones, all different patterns, colors, textures, but then they do also have iron-on options, foiled ones, again, tons of options, and you can purchase those online. Like I get a lot of them off of Amazon from like Oracle and what's the other one, Sicer, I think, but now Sicer is even in Michael's. And then of course Cricut sells them. I think Silhouette even has some too. But you could purchase your vinyl. You again need something to cut it down, of course, and then your calligraphy. What's nice about that, you could upload it, scan it, and you could upload it directly into like the Cricut software. And then you could do it that way, and it'll just cut your calligraphy out, and then you can iron it on or put it onto a mug or a shirt too. So that's another option. The machines can be a little bit pricey to invest. I do not know the prices off the top of my head, but I can leave the links down to both of those sites as well, because I love my Cricut for cutting all of my vinyl. I use my Cricut quite a bit as well next to the Cameo. I do like, pretty much I do all my stickers on the Cameo, and I do all of my like vinyl, cardstock, anything other material, pretty much I use Cricut for, like, no lie. So that is pretty much all the questions that I had. I just wanted to go ahead and help those people, and I hope that that helped you guys. If you have any other questions for me, definitely leave them down below, and then maybe I could do a part 2. I would love to do that subscription box video, so that's something you guys would be interested in. Let me know about that as well. I can talk all about that. But yeah, if you guys want to know more about like Shopify or just anything, like seriously, I would love to help you. So I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to try to figure out what the heck I'm doing to get ready for this launch. Oh, I did want to talk about that briefly, but this video is kind of long, so I'm not going to make it very long. But basically, just be on the lookout. There's going to be some amazing content coming up as I'm leading up to the launch of the Live, Love, Inspire collection, and the flagship item of this collection, as I'm calling it, is the Live, Love, Inspire notebook, which is a goal-setting notebook that is designed to help you not only do your traditional just notebook type of things, but there is this whole workbook in the front that helps you combat the fear that you have to help you get to the end result. And I'm sharing this because a lot of times we're so fearful to start our businesses or fearful to just do things in business, you know, whether it is to launch a new product or try something new, but especially starting a business. And I designed this for those people that really want to go for something that seems very huge, and we let the doubt kick in, we let the fear kick in, and it helps you to get over all of those humps, all of that negativity before it even happens. You address it. So that is what the Live, Love, Inspire notebook is all about, and I'm just so excited about it. So definitely look out for some videos coming soon all about that release. I'm really excited about it, you guys. So that's pretty much it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel. New videos are every week. I am just loving my filming schedule. Finally, I'm being consistent. I've been saying it for so long, and I've been so proud of myself. I've been consistently posting for, I think, the last at least 2 months for sure. I can definitely say that, and it feels really good. I've just been enjoying just getting to know all of you guys and to interact and everything like that. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of my uploads. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next video, and yeah, bye.